What is up? NYJohn here, and I'm here with the Friday night Go for Dota Cup. We have two teams up here. It's going to be Perplexed versus... Actually, I haven't even taken a gander at the bracket yet, so let me do that now and make sure I don't mess up any team names on the early onset of this tournament. But thanks for everyone that's tuning in right now. And get prepared for some good Dota action. As we all know, the International is coming up, so a perfect time to showcase some up-and-coming teams that very well might end up there next year. Who knows? Anything is possible. And as always, we thank everyone that signed up and is participating in the tournament. Pretty big turnout for this one. And hopefully the trend continues on as we move forward. We can see it's going to be... Not sure. Extreme Dota versus Smiley Face? Perhaps, yes, because this is a US team. So, Smiley Face versus Extreme Dota. I was wrong about the Perplex, and we could see some bans already went underway. We see Liking this thing in as well as Darkseer. For the Radiant team, they've taken out Enigma, Broodmother, and now Leshak rounds it up. The last ban for the Dire is going to be Nagasara, and we head into the picks. We'll see what is available. It's going to be Nature's Prophet selected right off the bat, so Rubik is available as well as Chen. Enigma being taken out, pretty interesting choice there. They prefer to ban him out over the likes of Chen. Perhaps they were trying to get Nagasara into the pool. They didn't use a ban on her, and the opposing team had to ban her out. They did have first pick, so they could have had some sort of little banning strategy in mind when they're going through that action. Now 2 picks. I'd assume with the recent trend, Rubik will be one of them. We'll see what the second one's going to be. Against Nature's Prophet, there's nothing really you can gear in terms of trying to counter Nature's Prophet effectively. He is so useful. And there's the Rubik pick, and we'll see what they want to follow it up with. They could go for the Lone Druid, who's still available, but they'll go for the Windrunner and secure themselves a very strong long laner. And certainly a good pickup in that regard. As well as the overall versatility of a Windrunner. You could also put her in mid if need be. And the fact that she has such good control in teamfights with those good shackle shots, as well as the power shot, being able to push back waves and such. And now 2 more picks coming out for the Radiant team. On the back end of their Nature Prophet, who do they want to add to that lineup? Very open thus far. If they want to go for that heavy push, it is available. They could pick up the Chen or the Enchantress and combo it up with something like a Venomancer. If they want to keep, that would definitely keep their lineup a little bit more open in terms of what the end goal would be. They can also go for the Lone Druid, try and create some more aggressive look. Tinker is still in the pool as well. So a lot of different options out there. Invoker, Shadow Demon, Brewmaster. It depends whether we want to go with that aggressive outlook. And these are 2 teams I've never seen before. So this is my first time getting to view them. And it's going to be in live action as well. So hopefully we have an interesting game on our hands and some promising talents up and coming in this match. The format rather, for Go for Dota Cups are Friday and Saturday. It's 8 teams usually. We have the first round would be what in a bigger tournament would be considered the quarterfinals. And then the second round will be the semifinals into the finals. And they're going to pick up Tidehunter as well as Chen. So Tide, of course, a very safe and secure pick. Having the Ravage in team fights is oh so important. Chen gives them that extra pushing ability, as well as just a very strong support and jungler overall. And we'll see if Smiley Face want to respond with a jungler of their own. Enchantress is still available. As we mentioned earlier, though, Enigma is banned out. So whatever they're going to pick up here is going to be very important going into the second banning phase. And I believe this is a North American versus European matchup. They were talking about something along the lines of that in the chat beforehand. Smiley Face versus Team Extreme. Am I getting that right, or am I already failing? Extreme Dota. And they're going to take their time in this third pick to round up the lineup before the second stage of bans. They're going to extra time, around 1 minute left in extra time. Both teams have dipped a decent amount into that thus far. And while we have a moment, I want to thank Go for Dota for organizing this tournament. Obviously, go head over to gofordota.com. There are still spots available for the Saturday Night Cup as well as the Sunday Night Cup. On top of that, even if there aren't spots available, they allow extra signups, and it's going to go by who checks in on time. So make sure you get your team signed up as well as be ready to participate in the future events. Crystal Maiden is going to be picked up, so they're going to get a nice, secure support pick that is going to allow them a lot of control in the laning phase. Crystal Maiden, Rubik, Windrunner. So this may lend to the fact that Rubik is going to be a solo. It's still a little bit hard to decipher because Rubik can be put in the tri-lane with Crystal Maiden as well as whoever they want to round it up with. But having that Crystal Maiden and Rubik, it does kind of somewhat indicate that Rubik may be in the middle lane. And now ban comes out on Chaos Knight, so they're going to take out some of that early aggression possibility. The Radiant team will, and then the response immediately is going to be the Morphling, so we will not see Morphling, which would have fit pretty well into both teams' lineups where they stand right now. And the final pick from, the final ban rather, from Extreme Dota, they take out Chaos Knight. They could very well look for something like a Night Stalker here or a Brewmaster, another early aggressive hero if that's what they want to go along with. If they're not sure if the Rubik is support or not, if they don't have that slight inclination that I have, then perhaps they'd be a little bit more safe banning out another carry instead of another support. They could also take the jungle out of the mix so they don't have to worry about the possibility of going up against an Enchantress, which certainly would mitigate their jungler advantage to a certain degree, as well as provide a nice tri-lane since that Enchantress can get farm pretty easily. They're going to take out Ancient Apparition though. And another interesting option, I'm not sure AA was really on the table for the Dire team, so they're not going to be too daunted by that ban. And now we go into the final ban from the Dire, and they take out Invoker. So Smiley Face want to just get Invoker out of the way. And now the pick for Extreme Dota, it's going to be their fourth selection. They have Nature's Prophet, Tidehunter, as well as Chen thus far. And for their fourth hero, they'll probably be looking for something. If they want to put the Nature's Prophet in the middle lane, they could long lane solo the Tide then. I think they'd be best off going for whatever carry they want to pick up here. Animage is still available. If they wanted to go along the lines of Rikimaru, he's still in. A Void would offer them a nice team fight. However, I'm not sure we're going to see any of those. Perhaps a more aggressive outlook. They can go for a DK who will add to their pushing potential. And I definitely think is undervalued at this stage. Chinese Dota loves Dragon Knight. If not, if they want to keep it a little bit more open and try and get one more indication of what their opponent are going for, they could always try and pick up a second support here if Tide is in the long lane. Otherwise, go for a mid laner. Queen of Pain's in the pool. Storm Spirit's available. Tinker is still available as well. They can go for that Brew plus a Shadow Demon if they want, but Templar Assassin will be the choice, so they pick up a mid laner, and it will in fact be Templar Assassin. Now the counter pick for Team Smiley Face. What do they want to go with their fourth selection? Crystal Maiden, Windrunner, Rubik. Now Rubik isn't that great of a matchup versus Templar Assassin middle. So I wonder if this is going to affect where they want to play him, and it certainly should. He could match up decently, but he definitely doesn't get the better of it on a regular basis. He would need a little bit more support. They can try and change this to a dual lane. Crystal Maiden plus Animage middle. Definitely a formidable dual lane option. They could pick up the Enchantress plus... Oh, instead they're going to go for the Queen of Pain. So they have another middle option now. The Poison does a decent job of trying to counteract the refraction from Templar Assassin. So Akasha versus Lanaya seems to be setting up for the middle matchup. And now Rubik very well could be, or probably is, in fact, the support. And with the final pick, I think they're going to end up going for one of those melee hard carries. Something along the lines of the Animage. That's for Smiley Face. Meanwhile, we're on the Extreme Dota pickup. Their fifth hero. What are they looking for here? And it's going to be someone that's sticking that bottom lane. Someone that hits hard and can scale pretty well. I still think Dragon Knight is one of the better options out there, but we haven't seen too many teams jump on the back of that quite yet. At least in our Go for Dota tournaments. Tinker. And it's going to be Tinker. So Tinker, they can even switch this up however they want. I think Templar Assassin's going to take the middle. Tinker's going to try and get that free farm on the bottom, with Tidehunter being there for a little bit of support. Nature's Prophet on the long lane in all likelihood. And then we'll see the final pick from the Dire team. And Tinker plus Nature's Prophet, of course, gives you a ton of mobility, being able to use those boots of travel to TP into the Treants, as well as the huge pushing power on top of that. So definitely good options there.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
And we're going to dip into the reserve time yet again. 30 seconds left for Smiley Face to pick up a final hero here. And they have to have their mind set on something to put in that tri-lane. It's going to be Rikimaru, so interesting choice. They go with the earlier hero. Rikimaru definitely is strong against Tinker before Tinker gets out that Force Staff. So that is an option if you can keep him in that cloud and take him down quickly. Templar Assassin versus Rikimaru, it's a pretty even matchup. I don't think anyone actually favors that. Riki not being able to break through the refraction may be a little bit difficult for him. And then, of course, the rest of the lineups we already discussed. So here we go. Game is about to start in a moment here. And I want to thank everyone who is tuning in thus far. If you have a moment, go ahead and head over to the Reddit post I have. It's under the new NYJohn casting, the Go for Dota Cup. If you have a chance to upvote me, I would really appreciate it. But we're in the game now, and it's Smiley Face versus Extreme Dota. And for Smiley Face's team, we have Fate will be playing the Queen of Pain. We have Hirali, or Hirali. I don't have no idea how to say his name. I'm going to just wing it as we play. Playing the Crystal Maiden. Then we have Captain Insanio on Rikimaru. We have the Riddler playing Rubik, and Perplex playing Windrunner. And for some reason, the Riddler is like a perfect name for someone playing Rubik. So I don't know if he had this in mind going into the game. And another thing to note is that we continue to see the North American scene love the Rubik pick in that first and second slot. Really value that hero very highly. And now for Extreme Dota, we have 2D playing Chen. We have Headhunter playing the Tinker. On the top lane, we have Ecto playing Nature's Prophet. And then we have Man L playing Tidehunter, as well as Isk Lumpen on Templar Assassin. And my forward that I always offer is, of course, if I'm mispronouncing your name, I apologize because I am really bad with pronunciations. So I'll work on it and try and get better at it in the future. But having not seen either of these teams, it's going to be a little bit difficult, and I'm going to just do my best to wing it. So no real big moves. It looks like everybody's content with setting up in their lanes. Windrunner, very risky play, sneaks in here and puts down a ward on the pull early on. And usually you need a 5-man rotation to try and get that going. We do see an early pause come out here. It will be from the Radiant team. So we'll have a slight break. Thanks for everyone that is tuning in. And hopefully this pause won't last too long. We have a little bit of BRB calls. While I'm on, I want to remind you, check out the organizers of this tournament are, in fact, gofordota.com. So make sure you head over there, make an account. I'm NYJohn, and we're about to get underway with 3 rounds of Dota amateur action, and certainly is exciting. Hopefully this pause won't last all too long, though, and we can actually get into it. And nothing much going on the map. We could check out our early items and try and dissect some stuff out of it. No, not much of an indication at all. So, there's not much to talk about here. It is a little bit interesting. Windrunner's build opted against going for a salve, picks up 9 tangos, and then a mantle of intelligence as well as gauntlet of strength. So, a little bit odd choices there. But nothing too absurd. And here we go, back into the game. Extreme Dota versus Smiley Face, and only one team can progress. This is a best of 1, as all games are in the cups, and it looks like Ecto may get himself in trouble here. Walks uphill, the Crystal Nova. Riki jumps on top of him. The telekinesis to toss him up in the air. He's taking a ton of damage. Is there another blink? It's not for a long time because of the level 1 cooldown. And will he get out of here alive? That would be absurd. He has no regen on him, and it looks like Ecto is going to narrowly escape a huge gank attempt, and a big misplay by him, not going to be punished. So well played there by Ecto to get out of there, but a big blunder to start off initially, and he is almost punished in a big way. So here we go. Middle lane will be Tinker versus Queen of Pain. So we'll see how this matchup actually goes. Tinker deciding to pick out the Marching Machines at level 1. Gonna get a little bit more pressure on top of Fate. Fate's going to have to be a little careful. Bottom lane will, of course, be that Windrunner versus this. Ooh, they decide to put Tidehunter plus Templar Assassin here. So, I do like Templar Assassin in the middle lane, a shorter lane, a lot more control. Runes are definitely good on her. With the bottle, she can get that regen up as well. And I do also like getting that free farm up on Tinker, whereas a little more difficult in the middle lane. He's a little bit more susceptible to ganks from both sides than he is on the safe lane. So, interesting choice. We'll see how it pans out for Extreme Dota. And now Fate going to trade hits with him. Laser is up, though, and Fate's losing that exchange, so he needs to back up. The Shadow Strike putting a little bit of damage on him, but definitely can't trade hits with a Tinker at this stage of the game. I think Queen of Pain should be able to do pretty well against the Tinker, but needs to be a little bit more careful than that. And we can see the farm. Thus far, it looks like Riki, everybody seems to be equal footing, or where they should be. So, not too big of a deal yet. Nature's Prophet not able to get a lick of farm, though. Now Tidehunter has the TP top. He's going to offer some help to his buddy. Nature's Prophet going to regen up. So nice play, and Tide's going to offer some support up here, but against the Tri lane, it's still going to be very difficult. He cannot extend. He will put himself in harm's way, and definitely have to pay for it if he does anything too risky. They're not going to be able to get CS up here. This is why it's usually called a suicide solo. And it's because you want to offer one person up. Tide should be bottom lane, trying to pull, maybe counterwarding this a little bit. So this could be a misplay. We'll see if it comes back to bite them in the long run. Headhunter in the middle lane keeps applying pressure. Pops off the March Machine when it's available. And he is taking a little bit more damage, so Fate looking for an opening. He's going to go ahead and throw another Shadow Strike on him. Going to blink away, though, after the laser comes out and cannot offer any counterattacks due to that 100% miss coming out. Now Manel and Ecto in the top lane. Rubik going to stand back and stack the pull, so his team's going to get a little bit more experience, as well as pull this lane back towards their tower. Now Gush going to come on top of Captain Insanio. He's going to take a little bit of damage there. No mana left on Tide, though. And Crystal Maiden continues to apply pressure. In the jungle, we haven't seen Chen get involved in the lane yet, but he has picked up a Troll Warlord creep, so a nice creep to get going. He is also level 3, and his farm is perfect for a jungler. Headhunter in the middle lane taking a lot of damage, has the DD room bottled, and Fate is going to have his bottle ferried out to him now, I believe, or just purchased, not ferried, excuse me. So he's going to have that pickup and be able to sustain a little bit better in the middle lane, and perhaps offer a better answer for this aggression coming out from Tinker. We'll see who's getting the better exchange. It looks like pretty even in terms of CS on the middle lane. On the bottom, though, we do see 16 for 1 on the Templar Assassin. So Perplex 9 for nil. Not doing bad, but it has turned into a 1 for 1 now, so it should open up more opportunities for Windrunner to get some more CS. It's going to be more difficult to take her down. Now, Heraldry is going to come in, put a Crystal Nova down, and just scare off the Tidehunter as well as Nature's Prophet. They're going to have to back up here. A nice ward place by them is going to show any aggression coming in from Rubik from the side. So definitely a good idea. It's going to offer them some more safety. Headhunter on middle lane, going to trade hits with Fate yet again. It continues to be a back and forth exchange. And now it looks like Fate's going to look to the bottom for the room, but it's actually top. It's an invisibility. And can Headhunter get there? It looks like he's going to start the foot race now. Fate's going to try and make his way up there as well. You'll have a blink available in 6 seconds. He's not going to beat him there, though. And he's going to lose this rune out to Tinker, and that's going to be big. We can see Fate is sitting on almost no mana. And now Headhunter going to pop up the invisibility, head towards the top lane. Captain Insanio is there, as well as Herali. And the rotation in from Headhunter. He's going to look for an opening here. Can he find anything? Can he go on anyone? Is there a Gush available? No, not enough mana there yet. And Ecto going to look for a Sprout. No, it's not up. He's going to go on top of Herali, though. Pops up the Marcher Machine. The laser to follow. He doesn't have enough mana yet for... Oh, it's going to be first blood. It's going to be drawn on Nature's Prophet as it turned around really effectively. They're still going to kill on top of Crystal Maiden, though. But Rubik able to finish off the Tidehunter. And now Headhunter is to back up. Insane is going to make it out alive. So Ricky Maru getting out of that and ending up picking up a kill. The first blood, so important. Goes in favor of the Dire. A gank attempt just didn't go entirely right. There wasn't enough mana on top of Tinker to get off the rocket. It would have certainly secured the first kill on the back of the Crystal Maiden. But instead, Smiley Face able to get a better exchange there on the top lane. So well played by them in that regard. And we'll see what the answer is going to be from Extreme Dota. Now they're down 2-1 in terms of kills. They gave Fate a little bit of time to regen and freeform in the middle lane. We can see he's now 20 for 3 in CS, so leading against this Tinker, who is now 15 for 4. And Tinker did lose a little bit of experience, but now Ecto in trouble in the top lane. The Fable to take him out. And now Manel's going to try and retreat out of here. Is there anything up? 2 seconds until a Frostbite. Frostbite going to come out. 1 more second. Telekinesis tossed in the air. Frostbite to keep him in place. Captain Insano trying to get in position for auto attacks. 1 more hit. No, can they slow him down enough? The smoke comes out as well. 1 more auto attack to take him down, but the tower putting down to the top of Rikimaru. Rikimaru secures the kill. The TP in though from Ecto. Can Ecto turn it around? 1 more hit? No. Rikimaru's going to survive as he hits level 6 and gets the kill on the dive. Well played by Rikimaru there. In the jungle, though, we see Chen's going to be in trouble. A good shackle shot's going to latch in there. But now the slow on top of Perplex. And wow, the Sonic Scream is going to come out. Sonic Boom, excuse me, or Wave. 3 different names. And now Fate's going to try and continue on top of Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin has to run away here. Of course, the Shadow Strike going to come out. And Templar Assassin going to try and turn it around. Queen of Pain taking a ton of damage. A couple more attacks to finish off, but no. Instead, Templar Assassin has to back off. But meanwhile, aggression on the top lane, it looks like. Rikimaru with that invisibility getting a little bit close, trying to set something up here. He is definitely leading the way on the top lane. Has 500 gold in the bank, as well as his treads up. Let's see what everyone else is doing in terms of farm. Queen of Pain has picked up her boots. Also has 600 gold in the bank. Courier's going to be delivering out a couple of items to this Rubik. Rubik seems to be having a pretty good time in the jungle as a support. Has already gotten boots up as well as his magic wand. And has those wards as well. And now we see a Gush in the top lane. Damage is going to come on top of Manel. He's going to try and run away here, and we'll be able to do so successfully. So a little bit of a scare there for him. He does have a level up in Kraken Shell, so that will help him in some situations against this aggression. And I want to thank everyone that's tuning in. I'm NYJohn. This is the Go for Dota Friday Night Cup, presented to you by GoForDota.com. Check them out for weekly cups, content, and more. And now Fate in the middle lane. He's going to come forward a little bit. He doesn't have any mana, so he has to be careful here against the level 3 Rockets. So now Tinker going to spam off the March Machine. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Rikimaru pretty forward on the wave. It doesn't look like he's looking for anything, though, but he's going to get counter-initiated on the Gush plus the Anchor Smash, but he goes back into the invisibility and walks off. Queen of Pain going for the rune. It will not actually... Oh, it hasn't spawned yet. 8 minutes. Now it's going to spawn bottom, and it's going to be picked up. It's going to be that haste activated. He's going to try and find an opening here. Chen's in the jungle all alone. Is he going to be in trouble? They're going to go ahead. The Shadow Strike on top of him. He's going to be netted up. Can he finish him off, though? He's taking a lot of damage here, and this could be turned around, and Fate has to run away. He cannot finish off the Chen by himself, and now Templar Assassin's coming in, and this could be bad for Fate. He needs to be careful, and there he goes. He has to exit quickly, as Perplex coming in from the side as well, but he has to back off, and Chen's going to make it out. Meanwhile, Chen commits suicide, actually, so it looks like he was able to deny himself with a creep. Shadow Strike may have ticked him down pretty low. It is a level 4 Shadow Strike, so a very unique build coming out from this Queen of Pain. It is not often we see Shadow Strike max over the Scream of Pain or even Blink. We usually see 1 or 2 levels in Shadow Strike, but Queen of Pain decides that she wants the extra slow, the extra damage over time. So an interesting choice there, and definitely an option. However, the AoE burst could be more effective on some ganking scenarios, but now it looks like Templar Assassin's going to jump on top of Perplexed, and Perplexed is going to be in trouble. A couple more attacks will take him down. The Shadow Melt Strike to finish off Windrunner, and down he goes. Meanwhile, it looks like Queen of Pain able to take out Tinker in the middle lane. She pops off the Sonic Wave for that at the same time. So another big kill, and on the top lane, the dive's going to happen. Nature's Prophet is going to be killed. Captain Insano taking damage from the tower, and they need to be careful. They're thinking about diving the Tidehunter, but instead they're going to back up. And Manel is going to be safe for now. Let's see what Chen's farm looks like. He only has 500 gold, so after having a pretty good start in the jungle, he has definitely slowed down a little bit. He's 33 for 0. That is going to be skewed a little bit because of jungle creeps. And does he have items on the courier? No. So I'm not sure where all his money is. I know he's been going for support items, and it looks like Perplex may be in trouble in the bottom lane yet again. We'll have to look back into that in a moment. 1 more hit's going to finish him off, and down he goes, and Templar Assassin is now dominating this bottom lane. We could go ahead and check out the kills. Templar Assassin is 2 for 1, but 2 really quick kills in succession against this Windrunner is going to put him in a bad spot. He's going to have to try and find a way to rebound here on the bottom. Meanwhile, Fate going to head to the rune. It is going to be a double damage, so a nice rune pickup for him if he's able to secure it. And now he's going to opt for the levels in Scream of Pain now that he is level 8, almost level 9. And it looks like Rikimaru's going to come in here as well. He has a Blade of Alacrity finished up. He's going to look to open up on Chen. And now the invisibility popped off by Templar Assassin, but Chen's going to be offered up for death. And now they know where Templar Assassin is. 1 more Scream should be enough to take him down. Will they catch him out here? Or did they not see him going to the meld? Perhaps he is going to escape. And it looks like Templar Assassin is going to narrowly get away there. Definitely 1 more Scream would have finished him off, but not caught out. We'll take a look towards the top lane. It looks like Headhunter as well as Manel are still up here. How is Headhunter's farm looking like? He just picks up the recipe for his Boots of Travel, so 100 gold till he has the boots completed. That's going to be around the 11.5 minute mark, but a dive in the middle lane is going to put Nature's Prophet in the bad spot as he is taken down, and now Captain Insano is going to rotate out of here. Chen TP'd in, but he couldn't offer any help. By the time he got there, he was already down. Perplexed on the bottom lane does have his boots up, so opted to go for the phase boot route, something we see pretty often on Windrunner. And 11-3 is going to be the kill lead for Smiley Face, the team from North America against the European squad in Extreme Dota. Captain Insano thinking about trying to open up yet again, and Rikimaru is doing a really good job of moving across the map and being very prevalent, and they're going to toss him up. Telekinesis is going to put Tidehunter into the air. He's only level 5. There's no Ravage available, and Headhunter's taking a lot of damage as well. Can they finish off Insano? No! 2 kills for none on the top lane in favor of the Dire team. Well played there by the Dire yet again. Smiley Face taking a huge advantage right now in this game. In the bottom lane, Templar Assassin keeps putting a lot of pressure on Windrunner. Windrunner has to be very careful here. Templar Assassin also has 1,700 gold in the bank, so getting closer to finishing out that Blink Dagger. That's going to be a huge acquisition for her when she's able to secure it. And now Perplex going to back up a little bit, take some damage from the side blades. And side blades are so hard to deal with in the lane. That pure damage coming through. Insano with low health in the top lane as well as Crystal Maiden. They're going to back off a little bit here as Tinker makes his way up. I'm not sure what happened to his Boots of Travel or the recipe. The recipe's on the courier. So that gank stopped him from finishing out the Boots of Travel, which is very significant. He could have finished that any bit sooner, and that would have been huge for him. Just to have them up on his person. Even the fact that he may have gotten out of that fight a little bit easier, maybe survived, and gone back, get some more mana, and be able to do that extra damage. It would have taken down Riki, but now Riki in the middle lane. And this is a crazy look. He's going to go in on the tower. The Sonic Wave has popped off, and down goes Nature's Prophet. Riki fearless with that low health pool and decides to still dive with Queen of Pain, and they secure another kill in the middle lane. Delivering out a couple of items to this Rubik. Excuse me for a moment. And here we go. As we look to the bottom, it looks like Perplex is going to be in a lot of trouble again. He's going to try and stun him off, but Lumpin is not going to be stopped. He's going to pop out the Refraction and continue on Perplex. And Perplex ring around the rosy to try and survive here, but in comes Chen from the side, and he gets the last hit off. And down goes Windrunner again. Let's check out our score sheet. We can see Windrunner has dropped for the 3rd time. And now surely they'll want to put some pressure here, but it looks like from the side, Queen of Pain is going to pop off invisibility and try and come in as well. We do see Templar Assassin below half health, but Refraction is available, so it would be a difficult kill to go for. Fate's still going to explore his options. Now in the top lane, Riki looks like he wants to set up again. The Courier's going to come out here. He's going to finish off the Courier and a huge amount of gold. Crystal Maiden's getting pretty low on health. She's going to go down to the Rockets, and Riki's just going to continue on Tinker. Tinker is taken down, and now Manel is going to have to retreat out as Riki gets close, but he gets the blink in on him. Smokes him up in a second. Will he continue the dive? He is going to go for the kill. Manel's in trouble. He has no mana left, and down he goes. A double kill again for Rikimaru, who has taken full control of the game. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, it looks like Chen was taken down by Windrunner. So another kill for the Dire team. Smiley Face doing very well. And I want to thank everyone who's tuning in. I'm NYJohn. This is the Go for Dota Friday Night Cup. We have Team Smiley Face versus Extreme Dota. And now Templar Assassin comes towards the top lane. She does have Dust, and she pops it off. Riki may be in trouble. A Shadow Meld Strike. A couple more auto attacks could finish him off. He blinks away, and now he's going to be finished off. Down he goes. And the only hero doing particularly well for the Radiant team is going to be that Templar Assassin, able to secure that big kill on Rikimaru. Definitely going to go a decent ways in slowing down his Diffusal Blade, which is only about 400 and somewhat gold away from finishing it off. Now the tower on the top is going to take a little bit of pressure as well. Queen of Pain pops off the haste. She's going to rotate up here and try and ward off this push. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Manel gets shackled off. He could pop off a Ravage, and they could try and turn this around here, but no. Perplex is going to back up, and now Queen of Pain jumps in on top of Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin going to block the damage with Refraction. Still trying to finish off the tower. May give his life for this tower very well, and looks like the tower is going to go down. Can he get out of here alive? Refraction popped again. In comes Crystal Maiden from the side, though. Can he slow him down? Yes, the Nova, the Frostbite, the Rockets coming out though as Tinker makes his way back in, and Fate is dropping very low on health. Can they turn this around? The Shadow Strike to try and finish off Crystal Maiden, and down she goes. The kill on Crystal Maiden is secured by Templar Assassin, an awkward exchange that ends up in favor of the Radiant team. Perplexed and the Riddler on the bottom lane. We'll see where the tower stands. It still has a lot of health on it, so for having two heroes down here, they're not really accomplishing all too much. An interesting commitment by by the Dire team, Smiley Face. And we can see level 7. Let's check out our levels while we have a moment as well. Hero level, Templar Assassin is going to lead the way at level 12, and definitely the kill on Rikimaru is going to help that. And now the slow comes out from Templar Assassin, the Sonic Trap. The Rockets are forced off as well. Ecto comes in, he's going to pop off the Sprout, and the Riddler's in a bad spot. He's going to go down. And now we're going to see, can they get a second kill? No, it looks like Perplexed able to escape out of there pretty easily. Ravage is still available for Manello, so if the Radiant want to try and push this here, they can do so. And here comes the wave towards the tower. Tower has a decent amount of health on it. So are they going to put up a defense? What will the Dire do here? They have two heroes in the area. Power Shot does fly off. Tower's dropping pretty quickly. It's below half health. The Glyph is not available. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain not moving from the middle lane. We do see, however, Crystal Maiden is going to come in. She's going to drop very quickly, though, just for the March Machine. We see Riki making his way into the middle of the fight. Dust has not been popped yet. The blink is up on Templar Assassin as well. And it looks like Riki's going to jump on top of Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet taking a ton of damage, but Dust is popped off. And now turned around. Riki's going to drop. They're able to send Nature's Prophet back to the base as well. Well played by Chen. End up getting 2 kills in a tower there on the bottom lane. A good exchange there. Now we see Fable popped off by Rubik, but Rubik puts himself in the harm way, and he's going to drop as well, and it looks like the Radiant team are bringing this back. A huge advantage from the Dire, up double digits in kills. Meanwhile, the Radiant team just slowly, methodically trying to work their way back in on the back of this Templar Assassin play, and thus far it has panned out for them. And it looks like they're going to be able to pick up a second tower here on the back end of a huge team fight. And we saw how much damage that Martial Machine really did to the Crystal Maiden. It was huge. She couldn't walk in the middle of that, trying to get forward just to get a nice Nova or even a Frostbite, as we see Queen of Pain taking out the tower in the middle lane. But it was so difficult, and we could see with these low-level heroes, or even low-health heroes, Rubik and Crystal Maiden, even Rikimaru to an extent, are going to have trouble walking in the middle of the team fight with the Martial Machine spam going out. Now Tidehunter may be in a bad spot. He is very forward on the top lane. Queen of Pain's coming from behind. Can he find her out here? And it looks like he's going to jump in with him. The slow comes off from the Shadow Strike. Does Queen of Pain want to dive this, though? It would be a very risky choice. He's going to go into the tower range a little bit, take a couple hits, but Fate is going to think better of it and back off. And probably a good option. We see Rubik coming forward to put a nice ward down. It should give them some good vision. Extreme Dota on the back of Templar Assassin, making this a very interesting game. Templar Assassin is getting closer and closer to finish off that Deslu. We can see Deslu, the recipe only costs 900, so halfway there to finishing it up completely. Meanwhile, Riki still hasn't finished up his Diffusal, which is a little bit odd considering his strong start. Now we see a blink in from Fate. Fate's going to go ahead and pop off the Sonic Wave and finish off Tinker. But we see it looks like a TP in from Nature's Prophet, a blink in from Templar Assassin, but a TP out from Queen of Pain is going to keep her safe, as Templar Assassin overestimates the distance traveled by the Queen of Pain. Middle lane, there's a little bit of a grouping. We see Crystal Maiden as well as Rubik and Windrunner just chilling. Doesn't look like they have smoke or anything, so not going for a gank attempt necessarily. But it looks like they actually are going to make their way into the enemy jungle, where Nature's Prophet is farming up a little bit. He does have his Midas up. So let's take a minute out to look at the items. Crystal Maiden on their full support. Rubik does have Arcane Boots, so for a support doing a decent job on that farm. Windrunner going to be working towards her Force Staff as soon as possible. We see Manel with his Arcane Boots on the Tide. We also see Nature's Prophet we already went through. It looks like I heard a Sonic Trap popped, but I don't see it. And now Templar Assassin's going to jump in, and this could definitely be trouble. As we see Ravage is available for Tidehunter if he wants to try and get involved as well. And he's going to pop off the Gush on Fate. Fate's going to have to jump out of here. A good shackle. They're going to catch Templar Assassin off. And Templar Assassin is a large majority of the damage. But Fate gets hit by the Ravage. Down he goes. Crystal Maiden drops in the middle of it. Riddler steals off the Refraction. He's going to try and run out. But the slow from the Sonic Trap, it's going to be trouble for him as well. Perplex going to die to the last hit from the Meld Strike. And now Riddler going to be caught in the middle of it. And oh my god, it has been turned around 360 degrees. A triple kill coming out for Templar Assassin. Ice Lumpin I cannot pronounce his name. I have no idea how to say it. But he is dominating right now on the Templar Assassin. Now from behind, Riki is going to try and get in on some action here. Ecto is going to try and TP out, but Riki cannot interrupt an actual TP. And he could silence the Sprout TP, but that is not going to happen. And Riki certainly struggling here. He does now finish up his Diffusal Blade, but you want your Diffusal with the start he had around 13, 14, 15 minutes. That's usually the timing. He got such a good head start going, but now things definitely going in favor of this Templar Assassin. We can check out the score sheet. Crystal Maiden having a tough time on that support. She really can't escape from a lot of the engagements. Psionic Triumphs making her start off 0-5. Riki is 7 for 2 for 5, so that is part of the reason why I'm so perplexed as to why it is such a late Diffusal. We see 4 for 1 on Queen of Pain, so she's not doing all too shabby. So the important hero is not doing too bad for the Dire team, making this more of a contest, even though we do see Templar Assassin 9 for 1 with 91 CS. So doing a tremendous job, and just having that big team fight Ravage to set it up all very prim and proper for her. And it's certainly helping her out as well as she picks up a gem, and they also get the Aegis off that Roche kill that we just watched. Gem is going to be huge. Rikimaru needs to be very careful now, and I'm not sure he spotted her. The ward definitely didn't catch vision of her before, so he may not have knowledge of this gem quite yet. And if she can sneak a kill on him, it's going to be devastating. Let's go back to our last hits and see really where the advantage lies. And it's going to be 92 and 91 for Queen of Pain and Templar Assassin, so they're both neck and neck at the lead. But we can see the drop-off after that point. Tinker even not doing as well as you would expect for CS on a Tinker. And now Ravage will be back up in 25 more seconds. And it looks like he's going to be slowed here. Fate's going to have to back off, though, as Tinker makes his way in. And Tinker decides to go for an ultimate orb. So this is an odd choice. On the bottom, though, we do see Riki able to finish off Nature's Prophet. So Riki going to make the most out of the Diffusal Blade and picks up an early kill on Nature's Prophet right after getting it. So Nature's Prophet still having a tough time. Has 2,000 gold in the bank, but definitely lost some from that engagement. And as I was saying, Tinker not picking up a 4-staff against the Rikimaru is a very odd choice, because getting out of that smoke is going to be paramount, especially considering the fact that Riki's pretty much always go for the Diffusal to slow you down and keep you in the smoke even longer. So definitely a difficult or an odd choice from him. That's why we see Queen of Pain against Rikimaru usually goes for that 4-staff, whereas usually you'd say Queen of Pain has a lot of mobility, doesn't need an item like that, but getting out of that smoke is the most important thing when you're fighting against that hero. And now Lumpin is going to be in trouble as Riki's going to try and set it up on him, but the gem's going to reveal him, and Riki's in a bad spot now. Can they finish him off? One more auto attack to take him down. Down he goes. The Shackle's going to catch Lumpin to a tree, but the Ravage is going to pop off, and now Riddler's going to take a lot of damage. In the middle of the fight, Manel going to try and keep the pressure going. He pops off. Oh, the Sonic Wave's not going to anyone, and the Crystal Maiden drops as well. One more blink from Lumpin. He could jump on top of her Perplexed if he wants to, but no. He picks up the double kill. We'll be content with that. And now the Radiant are definitely in the driver's seat. That Deso dealing so much damage, and there was Riki getting caught off guard by the surprising gem yet again. And I want to thank everyone that's tuning in. This is the Go for Dota Friday Night Cup. I am NYJohn, and I really appreciate your viewership, and I hope you're enjoying the broadcast thus far, as we have a pretty exciting game. We can see there's already, my math is pretty bad, but 37 kills. Now a TP in. This is a very risky position. Oh, it's actually Tinker. So excuse me, that's my huge blunder. But we do see this tower is going to drop down, so there's only one tier 2 left, as we see a Gush coming out, and they're able to finish off Tide with just a burst of damage. Now Templar Assassin wants to initiate on this. Riddler's going to drop to a couple hits. Perplex going to try and get the Shackle, will not catch on. Rockets are going to come out as well. Fate's going to take a little bit of damage, and it looks like, oh, Riki jumps in the middle fight. He wants to take out Templar Assassin. Can he finish him off in time, though? The laser's going to pop off on him. One more attack to finish him off. Queen of Pain jumps in with a strike. Now Shadow Strike's going to finish off Templar Assassin for the first time, and it looks like Crystal Maiden and Queen of Pain are going to be content with that and have to back up to the base. They do not want to risk anything else. And now Ecto on the bottom lane just kind of trying to continue the pressure. He does have 2,800 gold, so he's going to pick up Mystic Staff here and work towards a Scythe of Vice. So definitely be a huge pickup for him and allow him a little bit more control. And it looks like the lead is definitely in favor. Let's take a look at our graphs. And it's going to be 10,000 gold in favor of the Radiant right now, as well as over 7,500 experience in favor of the Radiant 2. So huge advantages. We see Chen has finished up that mech. Anyone else have any interesting items? Smoke up on Tide if he wants to look for an opening here. Templar Assassin has picked up another Mithril Hammer, so going to be looking towards a BKB next. Pretty proper choice. On Scythe Device, we already noted, and Scythe Device is going to be the next choice on Tinker as well, which is what he's opting for. Instead of getting that 4-staff first, now Riddler may be in trouble in the middle lane. They smoke up, but they run right into reveal. Rockets are going to come out. Can they catch him off with the Sprout? Instead, they're going to try and focus up here, but down goes Tempo Assassin. They lose the gem. It's in the middle of the smoke. No one's going to pick it up for the time being, and now Headhunter needs to try and get out of here, but they're putting so much damage on him, and down he goes. 2 big kills. Rubik dies in the back end of it, and now Ecto and Chen are there. The Sonic Wave comes off and hits all 3. The Scream also does a lot of damage. The Ravage is popped off. Queen of Pain blinks out to try and dodge that. Tinker buys back, gets back into the middle of the fight. Laser is going to finish off the Rikimaru. And now Perplex and Fate trying to run out here. A TP out from Ty, but he dies from the poison, it seems. Queen of Pain picks up that kill. And now Tinker trying to finish off Perplex, but Perplex pops off the Windrunner and will escape. And it looks like Headhunter is going to be able to secure that gem, which is very important as well, as it would have been on cooldown or potentially gone against their favor. If Smiley Face can assert themselves and try and get some map control with a gem, definitely could bring them back into this game. But it looks like Tinker able to get it back, so a nice buyback from Tinker is going to get things going for him. And now Fate going to retreat all the way back to the well to heal up. Meanwhile, we see Rubik going to go for some farm on the bottom lane. He's going towards the drum as well. Ecto going to continue his farm. He's still a ways away from finishing off his Scythe of Ice. So this is the timing. If you're the Dire team, you need to make something happen now. Now before the Scythe of Ices come up, because the farm on those heroes is definitely better than the farm of your secondary key heroes. Like Windrunner, we can see, has a 4-staff, but needs a Scythe of Ice to go against the Scythe Devices that are going to come out momentarily. Queen of Pain has that Ags, has an ultimate orb, but still is pretty far away from her home Scythe Device. So they need to try and be aggressive now. Smoke ganks, try and create openings. They've gotten Nature's Prophet, picked them off a couple times in good scenarios, but they need to continue it going. And here is Fate with the aggression. He's going to look for Ecto here. Ecto just going to try and get out of here, and it looks like he should be able to TP out pretty easily. They pop off the Sonic Wave for that, and he's still able to get out safely. So Fate losing a cooldown, but he is level 17, so that means with the Aghanims, the cooldown is only 40 seconds. Something you could definitely recover from that pretty easily. Now Riki is going to find Tide here. Is he going to try and jump on him? There's also a Centaur here to stun Riki if he tries to be aggressive, and it looks like Riki has that little glitch where he is not showing invisible, but he actually is. He doesn't have the skill up. And now Templar Assassin going to put a trap down, but a great Shackle's going to catch the two together, and they're going to be in trouble. Here comes extra damage. Is Templar Assassin going to drop? Yes, she is. Not able to pop off Refraction in the middle of that smoke. And now a big pickoff. And on the back end of it, it looks like the Dire team are going to try and push and create another opening here. And they need to take a fight. They cannot just... They need to take the tower as well as a fight, but you can see wisely Tinker deciding to pop off the Marcher Machines. Going to make their pushing experience that much more difficult. And they're going to back off a little bit here. As we see Queen of Pain going towards the top rune. In fact, she's going to try and stop off Nature's Prophet up here, but the same thing can happen. He can always TP out. It is not an easy kill for Queen of Pain. And we'll take a look at this again over to the top. Fate's going to jump on top, but it looks like Nature's Prophet already left, so a waste of time. They could have tried to go for this tier 2. It would have been difficult under the Marcher Machine, but it's always going to be difficult against the Tinker, and they need to really try and make something happen. So, I mean, I think that's a slight mistake. They probably should have won for the tier 2 there. Tried to pick someone off. Tinker is not that mobile. Without the Force Staff, you could probably dive on top of him and try and take him down early on in the fight and get that tower, and then try and create more opportunities where you have odd numbers going up against you. Tinker does have 2,100 gold on him now, though. So only 1,200 and change away from finishing off his Scythe of Ice. Crystal Maiden has picked up her Tranquil Boots. And now Captain Insanio, he's going to opt for a Butterfly Nexus. He has a Talisman of Evasion, in his inventory. Back home. Fate has 1,500 gold in the bank. So slowly working his way towards that Scythe of Ice. It's 29 minutes into the game. The kill lead is going to be 26-22 in favor of the Dire, but that's not telling the entire story of the game. We can see there are more kills in terms of towers in favor for the Radiant team, and the Radiant team have been slowly but surely turning this around. We can see the gold is dipping a little bit back down, but 8,000 is still a large margin to be ahead by. Experience is going back down towards true zero, though. So that is a factor that is going to be looking pretty good for the Dire as they continue on here. And I want to take an opportunity to thank everyone that's tuning in. I'm NYJohn. This is the Go for Dota Friday Night Cup. If you haven't already, check out gofordota.com. There are still available sign-up spots in the Saturday night as well as the Sunday Night Cup. And even if it says it's full, still sign up, because if you check in and another team doesn't show up, we would love to have you. And Go for Dota also offers a lot more coverage, content for newer players, as well as amateur teams starting to get going. So be sure to participate in that community. They're the ones that are bringing me this nice tournament to cast for you guys. And I hope you're enjoying it thus far. An exciting game. 48 kills, already 30 minutes in. So definitely good ratio. And now both teams are in a spot where they want to make something happen. Let's see. Do they have the Scythe of Isis up yet? No. Do they have it on Nature's Prophet? No, but Nature's Prophet is pretty close. I mean, so no, really, the key items aren't up yet. So this is a little bit of odd timing to push when you have an advantage. But they're going to go ahead and try and take out this final outer base tower. But it looks like the Dire are going to try and make a fight out of it. Ice Lumpkin going to jump in here, and now Crystal Maiden going to take one hit. It already ticks her down to half health. The Ravage pops off in the blink in the middle of the fight. Tidehunter dealing a ton of damage. Riddler needs to back out. And it looks like damage going on to Insignia as well. A couple more hits to finish him off. The blink in from aggressive look from Templar Assassin going to finish off Rikimaru. And now Riddler low on health. They're going to try and put the damage back on Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin's going to get out of the base safely though. Gem is dropped in the middle of the base, a good shackle, but everyone for the Dire is such low health, and now they're going to be able to finish off the Templar Assassin as he goes too far into the base, and a nice ultimate for Crystal Maiden is going to finish off Tide as well, but it looks like Chen able to finish off Crystal Maiden with one more hit. Rocket Spam comes out though as Tinker makes his way back into the fight. He takes down Queen of Pain, and now down goes Rubik. The gem is dropped yet again. Nature's Prophet is going to tree himself. Someone's got to pick up that gem, and it's going to be destroyed by Perplexed. Oh no, Tinker's able to grab it right before the auto attack lands, and you can see the attack coming out on it. Meanwhile, we see 2D, 1100 gold in the bag. He is taking over that full support duty. Ty picking up that blink was huge in that fight, but the fight still kind of equalized out as a couple of kills were picked up on the back end of it. I don't think anyone has bought back recently, no. So we can check out our kill totals and see the leaders of the game. 13 for 4 for Templar Assassin, 12 for 5 for Rikimaru, 6 for 2 on Queen of Pain. So those are the three key players right now. And then, of course, you can never forget about Tinker. He's only 4 for 5 in terms of kills. He has 14 assists, though. And there it is. The Scythe of Ice is now completed. So, essentially, the Unlimited Hex can be coming up. And it's going to be very problematic. We're going to see how the Dire team try and cope with that. I think they have to focus down Tinker. I don't think there's another option. I mean, the Shackles have been good by Windrunner catching 2 heroes together. They need to get in there. Tinker needs to go down. Templar Assassin needs to go down. The rest of the heroes don't output too much damage. Of course, Ravage is problematic, but it's a one-time skill. So we'll see if they can execute. Of course, they have a lot of mobility on Queen of Pain as well as Rikimaru, so they can definitely try and focus down the heroes they want to get at. Templar Assassin being a little bit more difficult with that invisibility, as well as the fact she has the gem, and a lot of damage coming out from her. It looks like her farm is definitely stagnated, so they've done a good job of slowing her down because she's still 600 gold away from finishing off her BKB, and I'd be surprised if they engage before that, but Fate's in a bad spot. He's going to be taking it on the middle lane, and now a great opening for Extreme Dota to push on the back end of this. And they're going to march all the way towards the tier 3 in the base and go for a Rax here. And here we go. Will it be a contest? March Machine Spam is going to start momentarily, and there's another good shackle on Tinker, but nothing on the back end of it. They're not going to try and engage, and here's the March Machine that's going to make it so difficult for the supports to come in. Ravage just popped off, but it doesn't hit anybody. A blunder from Tidehunter. It looks like Insignia's going to take a ton of damage, so he jumps into the fight, finishes off Tide. He's going to continue on, but gets sheeped off, and down goes Rikimaru, and now 3 heroes are dead for the Dire side. The Radiant still have 4 alive as they focus down the tier 3 tower. Riddler comes back in. He's trying to put damage. Templar Assassin will lose refraction in the moment here, but they're able to finish off the tier 3, and now the Raxes can be focused, but a buyback from Captain Incendio. He comes into the fight. Fate as well pops off the Sonic Wave, takes down Nature's Prophet, and now they're going to try and send TA back to the base. Will it work? It works. The refraction keeps her alive just long enough to get her back to the base safely. And a huge fight there. The tier 3 does drop, but a couple important kills are gained back from the Dire team, and most importantly, do not lose a Rax, and Roshan is up. If they want to try and go for a Roshan here, it wouldn't be the worst idea. I mean, with 3 heroes down, 2 of the more mobile heroes, Rosh could be a better option. They're going to try and finish off the tier 2 tower here, and I'm not sure it's the optimal choice, but either way, they're going to get something out of this unless buybacks come out. But it doesn't look like they will, and that Scythe of Ice was finished, and a part of that last fight from Nature's Prophet, so having 2 of those is really clutch. Windrunner does go for a mech, so that's probably been completed for a little while, as I haven't checked up on her recently. Fate, meanwhile, has 1900 gold in the bank now as he gets the last hit on the tower, but we can see the problem is he's not getting, I mean, he's getting closer to his sight device, but he's been around that 1400 point for about 3 or 4 minutes now. And this is why they really need to be on the forward foot. If they take any team fights behind their half of the river and lose them, it could be easily transitioned into a push onto that Rax, which is now exposed in the middle lane. As we have a pause coming out here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm NYJohn. This is the Go for Dota Friday Night Cup. This is only the first game out of 3, if everything goes according to plan. This is a quarterfinal matchup between Smiley Face and Extreme Dota. And Extreme Dota look like they're in the driver's seat. However, Smiley Face not relenting quite yet. They lose a tier 3 tower. The gold advantage is 8,000. The experience advantage is lingering around 5,000 for the Radiant. And I hope everyone is enjoying the cast thus far. I can see a decent amount of chat in the Twitch channel. So thank you guys for participating. I really do appreciate it. And once again, shout out to gofordota.com. If you want to get involved in tournaments, you can pick up a team. Definitely play here. Playing in a live tournament scenario and getting exposure on a stream, whether it be to 20 people or in this case 300, it is definitely something you want to be able to manage and get into early on in your Dota career. Even if you want to play for fun, get 5 guys together and sign up at gofordota.com. And this pause is going to be for Chen, who has disconnected. And Chen does pick up an Ogre Club on the back of 1,300 gold, so he's going to be working towards an eventual Aghanim Scepter, which is going to be a very big item for them, especially as they continue to try and push forward and penetrate the base. And I love that pickup on Chen, but his farm playing that full support role and dying 5 times. He's been a part of 15 kills, though. Still, his farm isn't all too great for 35 minutes. And I won't fault him for that, playing that actual full support role. Allowed Ty to get his Blink Dagger up, as well as a cloak. So it looks like Ty going towards an eventual pipe. And we can see astronomical kill numbers on the 2 leading heroes from both teams. 14 for Templar Assassin, 14 for Rikimaru. And they definitely are key components to their respective teams. Also, shout out to Fight Night Dota, which I believe is Wednesday nights. It has just recently been picked up by Go for Dota, but they've been running it for a while. I believe Torn and St. Simon run it, and definitely check that out as well. It's a little bit better time if you're from North America. These times aren't bad. They're kind of middle of the day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We start at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you're from North America, if you're from Europe, we start at 20 CEST. So it's a night game for you. It's an afternoon game for the people in the more Western, but certainly the Wednesday night games are more catered to the American crew, North American, South American, with, I believe, an 8 p.m. start time. So check that out as well. A lot of tournaments coming. It gives you an opportunity to play. It's a little bit more refreshing than scrims because you get to play a variety of teams that you may not necessarily normally get involved with. And that's enough for me advertising, as we're going to get back into the game. The go call is up. 31-29 is the kill lead for the Dire. And a pause comes out right off the bat. But it's a mistake pause, so it will be rectified right now. And this is Smiley Face versus Extreme Dota. Game 1 of the Friday Night Cup. This is a best of 1, though, so loser goes home, winner moves on. And they do check out the Roche Pit, so this could be an option for them. Rikimaru picking up an Ogre Club, so decides he is going to veer away from perhaps the path of going towards that butterfly early on. And there is an option, I believe, Heaven's Halberd with these items in conjunction, but he could also just be looking for a BKB. He's taking a ton of magic damage when he jumps into the middle of the fight. The Ravage as well as the Wrath of Nature, and plus the fact that they have 2 sheep, so BKB would probably be one of the better choices he can go for right now. We'll see if he does that, even if he has enough time to go for it, as Roche is being taken down by Extreme Dota. And it looks like this is going to be all a free Roche kill. They're going to put it on the back of this Templar Assassin. Riki comes in, though. There's a gem. He's going to be sheeped off immediately. Is there follow-up to finish him off? And yes, he's going to go down. A huge mistake from the Dire team's Rikimaru. And an otherwise strong match from Captain Insanio, but it has just created a huge opening for Extreme Dota as they try and press on here. He does not have nearly enough money to buy back And now a Sonic Wave comes out, but Queen of Pain just going to retreat. She's going to try and spam it out to try and get damage on them, but Mech is popped to try and heal off the majority of that damage dealt. And now it looks like Riddler did steal off Marching Machine, so that's going to be going in their favor. A nice shackle. Can they open up? Oh, Templar Assassin tossed in the air for the telekinesis. Ravage is going to catch off all four. And now the Sheep comes out on Perplexed. Perplexed going to try and back out here. Nobody has died quite yet. And it looks like everybody's going to get out safely. A shackle comes out, it won't catch. And for the first death, it's going to be Tidehunter. They will take down the Aegis on Templar Assassin as well. And now Templar Assassin going to be focused once she comes back here. And a short blink to the Frostbite. A misclick from Ice Glumpen. And now Ice Glumpen may be in trouble, but he finishes off Crystal Maiden first. And the shackle comes out just to slow him down. A couple more auto attacks should finish him off. And the Sonic Wave comes out, and down goes Templar Assassin. The gem is now picked up by Queen of Pain, or it's destroyed. It looks like it actually was destroyed, so they ought to just take away the gem. They don't want it to be a part of the fights anymore. So that was actually a tremendous fight. Taking away the Aegis advantage and killing off Templar Assassin. This is a huge opportunity for the Dire team to try and get up some of those key items on themselves. Queen of Pain really close to finishing off her Scythe of Ice. Perplexed is going to finish off a pipe in a matter of 700 gold or 650 gold, thereabouts. But he is not carrying a TP because he has a Bracer as well as a Null Talisman. So this is a little bit of a, I don't want to be ironic or cutesy here, but it's a little bit perplexing that he has the Null Talisman plus the Bracer. He could probably get rid of one of those at this stage of the game, especially to carry a TP against Nature's Prophet. You always need to have TPs on every hero. And Nature's Prophet does have 3,000 gold in the bank as well, so we'll see if he wants to go for another supportish item, another utility item, or if he's going to go for a damage dealing item and really try and get involved up there, trying to help out Templar Assassin with the damage output in the middle of the fights. And certainly I think that's probably what he's more leaning towards. He could also go for a defensive item if he wants to get a BKB. He can go for an Orchid, a BKB, an MKB, even a Chrysalis. Those are all going to be viable options for him at this stage of the game. Even a Deso, but with the Deso already on Templar Assassin, I'm not sure he's going to opt for that. See, Manel hasn't gotten much opportunity to farm. Jumping in all these fights. He is dropping throughout most of the fights.
Haste.
And now we see a four-man push in the middle lane. It's going to be an aggressive look. Fate's going to jump forward, but he gets sheeped off by Headhunter right away. Is there damage to follow up? The Shackle's not going to catch on anything. That could have been a bad look. Telekinesis now, though, is going to toss Templar Assassin to the high ground. I'm not sure if she blinked, but now trouble in the middle lane. The sheep comes off on Rikimaru. The Ravage is popped off by both Rubik and Manel, and everybody is stunned. The Sonic Wave pops off. Ecto's in the middle of the fight. Lumpin's in there too. He's trying to finish off some heroes. Riddler's going to pop himself backwards. Perplexed is going to try and focus on Lumpin, but he's taking a lot of damage. And now Riki has dropped. Fate is taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down. No, he blinks away just in time, and Hurley tries to save his teammate so valiantly in the middle of the fight. Pops off the Crystal Man and Ultimate. But now the Psionic Trap is going to slow down the Riddler, and he's going to die as well. Ecto goes forward. He catches up Perplexed, and Perplexed wind running in the middle of the Sprout Trap. He's going to take a lot of damage. Once this breaks, one more hit, and down he goes. 4 heroes dead for the Dire team. And the Radiant are going to march onto the base, and this very well could be GG for Extreme Dota over Smiley Face. The double Ravage stunned everybody there. That was amazing. But the fight, Lumpin dealing too much damage. It's just too difficult for them to deal with, and they have a lot of control between those multiple sheeps. And the fact that Tinker can use sheep more than once as well, it just allows Lumpin to have a field day in the middle of that team. And we see Fate is in the middle here trying to slow it down, but the Rax does drop in favor of Extreme Dota as they rotate towards the top. And this tower is going to take a lot of damage as well. We just see a couple reses will come up momentarily. Rikimaru's going to make his way back into the fight, as well as Rubik. And down goes the tower. Are they going to push for this Rax, though? This could be a risky idea. Rocket Spam is coming off. It's going to make it a little bit safer, as well as the March. Rubik's going to steal off something. It's going to be the Treants, though. And now Tinker's going to go down as Riki jumps forward on top of him. Queen of Pain gets the last hit there. So an aggressive look, and now Chen's going to be in trouble. Ecto's going to TP out of here. He'll be successful, though, as the sheep is on Chen. Chen hit by the Shadow Strike. A Scream of Pain should be enough to finish him down in a couple seconds, but instead the auto attacks will take him down. And 2 heroes claimed there, but a buyback instantly from Tinker. as he wants to make his way back into the action. And we see Tinker's going to push out the lane, get a little bit of farm, keep everything going towards the Dire team so they have no options in terms of going for a tower pick-off. Like, they had a successful fight there, but they cannot get any of these towers because look how far back they are. Every wave is pushed against them. This is the problem of going up not only against the Tinker, but against the Nature's Prophet. The lanes are just never going to be in your favor when you don't have that mobility to counteract it, and you have to make the team fights really count. And I mean, the last team fight, the fact that they didn't lose a whole second racks is a minor victory, but they certainly weren't the victors there. And Smiley Face in a bad spot, missing 2 or 1.5 raxes. Now the bottom is going to be the final frontier. It looks like Sheep's going to pop off on top of Riki, who tries to find an opening on Tinker. But Lumpin making his way in, he still has that gem, and Riki has to be careful if Lumpin can spot him off here, but no, he goes the opposite direction. So Riki should be able to get out safely. 4,200 gold in Nature's Prophet. Whatever he wants to go for, it should show shortly. Unless he's just saving for buyback right now. Buyback's going to be 1,300, so not a bad idea. And now Headhunter does opt for that 4-step after he gets the sheep. So that's very odd. I know I complained about that earlier on. And at least he gets it in the long run because it is so important. And you can't even begin to explain how important it is. No matter what hero you are, if you're skill dependent, you need to get a 4-staff against the Riki Maru if you're getting the farm at least. Smoke is so annoying when you have a diffusal blade on the back end of it. And now we see a 4-man group towards the bottom, so it looks like they're going to try and just end this here. Extreme Dota going to go for the win. Roche is back up in 3 minutes. TPN, it's going to become 5-man Dota on the bottom lane. And who can be better at the 5-man Dota? Fate's going to come forward too far. Shackle's not going to catch. He's going to be sheeped off. He's going to get forced staff backed a little bit. And now Lumpin's going to pop off the BKB. He could have fought in the smoke with BKB pop, but he opts not to. Ravage is going to pop off. Perplex is going to be in trouble. Rubik steals out the Ravage and pops it right back at them. Perplex taking a lot of damage, but he's able to get out safely for now. And Hirali taking a lot of damage as well. Down he goes to the Rockets. 5 still alive for the Radiant team. 2 dead for the Dire. And Riki Maru is dead. Things are looking good for Smiley Face and the North American team on the last legs. Perplex comes forward, gets the shackle off on Manel. Fate comes forward again. He's dancing with the devil here, going way aggressive. And now a TP in from Tinker. The Sheep's going to catch Fate off, and Fate cannot even stay in outside of pig form for much long. Riddler going to get sheeped here as well. He's going to drop, and now Fate going to be focused. A couple more hits should be enough to take him down, but he blinks out. And surely they should just turn on the racks here and finish it off. 3 heroes dead for the Dire team as Extreme Dota, down double-digit kills in the early goings of this game, are able to turn it around in 45 minutes and all but 100% sure secure a victory in the first round of the Friday night Go for Dota Cup. Down goes the Rax, and now all the Raxes are claimed. Mega Creeps will be spawning. GG is called. Looks like Smiley Face admirably are going to play it out. We see Wrath of Nature once again. Queen of Pain keeps escaping these engagements, which is impressive. Shackle comes out. Manel is going to back off. Insanio going to go back to the well, but the throne is exposed, and it is going down. And the Chain Sheep has just been so frustrating for Fate. And what an exciting game one we had today. Be sure to stay tuned as we move on. Extreme Dota are not done yet. They're going to move on to the next round. Smiley Face, hopefully we'll see them tomorrow or Sunday, as they certainly were promising. If they had been able to build on their early lead a little bit more successfully, this game could have been entirely different. If Rikamaru had the Diffusal Blade up around the 15-minute mark, this game could have been theirs by 25 minutes, but instead, Extreme Dota bring it all the way back. I'm NYJohn, your shoutcasting host for the Go for Dota Friday Night Cup, and thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for Game 2, or not Game 2, this is a best of 1, so that is over. The next game will be coming out momentarily. Thank you again for watching, and I'll put on some tunes for you in the meanwhile.